The municipality of North Cypress-Langford is located to the south of Neepawa, bordering the town on three sides and stretching south past Carberry as far as Shiloh to the west and Edrins to the east. Total population for the area is 2,860, with a land area of 1,762 square kilometers within 6 wards. Amid the planning matters and usual concerns such as financials and roadways, the North Cypress-Langford Council focused some time on a couple of new issues this month. The Neepawa Ag Society has approached Council for some funding assistance for the first time. With the amalgamation of North Cypress and Langford, the municipality stretches all the way from Neepawa to Carberry, so Council often find themselves supporting their constituents by balancing their support between the two largest communities in the area, rather than focusing on just one. While they have supported the Carberry Ag Society for several years, Council as a whole was less familiar with the Neepawa Ag Society and are working on getting a better sense of their needs and the way the Ag Society and its grounds are used and currently funded before making a commitment. As well, the community of Wellwood is requesting a speed reduction in their bus pickup area. Wellwood does not have a school zone itself, but instead an area where several local students are collected from a main thoroughfare. While they are looking at a speed reduction in the interest of safety, Council is also considering other types of signage that might serve the same purpose. One last thing before we jump in. A bit of winter weather sneaked in overnight, and there is some fogging of the camera lens as it adjusts to room temperature after traveling to the meeting. However, the show must go on, and the council meeting must start as scheduled. It takes about 5 minutes or so to clear up, so until that point, the meeting just has a little extra October atmosphere. Following is the October meeting of the North Cypress-Langford Council in its entirety.
Meeting be convened at 9 a.m. with Ray Grayson in the chair. Have a mover, please.
Davidson.
Sharon, seconder. Ellis, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Resolution 260, 2024, be it resolved that the agenda for the regular meeting of October 15th, 2024 be adopted as circulated. Can I have a mover, please? Robbie and Malcolm. Anybody have anything to add to the agenda?
Yes. Can we get the Neepawa Fair board put on there? Neepawa Fair for the roof? Please.
You can, okay. Ag Society. Any other? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Resolution 261, 2024, be it resolved that the minutes for the regular meeting of September 6, 2024 and the joint meeting minutes of September 23rd, 2024 be adopted as circulated. Can I have a mover, please? Seconder. Harold. Any questions on those minutes? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. No delegations. Resolution 262, 2024, be it resolved that the financial statement for October 2024 be referred to council. We have a mover, please. Seconder.
Davidson.
Okay. Chairman. Any questions on the financial statement as presented? In favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Resolution 263, 2024, be it resolved that the accounts check number 31020 to check number 31123 totaling $689,938.70 and direct deposits withdrawals totaling $80,108.06 be approved for payment. Have a mover, please.
Homestead.
Alice, seconder. Robbie, anybody got any questions? They're in front of you there if you have any questions. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Rachel's not here yet. Pardon me?
274.
Page 4.
274, okay, unfinished business. Resolution 274, 2024, be it resolved that council approve Chelsea Cracknell as citizen rep for the Carberry Recreation Committee. Have a mover, please.
Rob?
Rob, seconder.
Homestead.
Any questions on that? Comments? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Holy mackerel. Who wants to read this one? General business, resolution 275, 2024. Whereas the Blue Hills area has experienced significant population growth and economic activity in recent years, leading to an increase in crime rates and public safety concerns. And whereas the current Royal Canadian Mounted Police detachment in the Blue Hills area, despite their commendable efforts, is increasingly stretched thin and struggling to meet the demands of the expanding community. And whereas there has been notable rise in crime, property crimes, traffic violation, and domestic disturbances in the area, exacerbated by the rural nature of the community, which presents unique challenges for law enforcement due to the vast geographic area that must be covered. And whereas the expansion of the Blue Hills detachment cover to include an additional municipality will now strain RCMP resources, increasing the coverage area to over 2,200 square miles and adding over 3,000 residents to their responsibilities, therefore impeding response times and limiting proactive policing efforts. Therefore, be it resolved that the AMM strongly urges the province and the RCMP to increase the number of RCMP officers assigned to the Blue Hills area to ensure adequate law enforcement coverage and enhance public safety. And be it further resolved that the AMM calls upon the provincial government to provide the necessary resources and support to the RCMP to facilitate this increase in personnel, therefore ensuring that the growing population and geographic challenges of the Blue Hills area are effectively addressed. Can I have a mover, please? Harold, seconder. Malcolm, are there any questions on that?
The other municipalities passing the same thing?
Yes, yeah,
So this is go to resolution at AMN?
yes, yes.
I heard Rivers is trying to get their police force back too.
That is what this is
Yeah,
talking
that's what
about,
it's
yeah.
referring to.
There's, since the last time they were here, they're out on Trans-Canada a lot. With that paving now, they're hiding between.
Is that not highway services though?
Well,
Yeah, that's
it is,
different
but
than
it's,
Blue Hills.
sometimes they're different units, like usually they used to have that blue, or that gray ghost car.
Oh, yeah.
Now they got a blue one, they got another one, there was a marked car out there the other day, amongst the equipment. So they are spending a lot more time on Trans-Canada lately.
Any other comments? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Resolution 276, 2024, be it resolved that council approve past due accounts to be added to taxes as follows. 171000, AR account John, $33, $160. 169600, well, $50, $110. 391700, utility account 2800503956. 393870, utility 340010 48574. 395 utility account 550010 $281.47. 408050, utility account 640010 $1,543.51. 388810, utility account 800010 $1,089.25, and 405600 utility account 1340020 $479.47. Can I have a mover, please?
Davidson.
Sharon, seconder. Rob, any questions? All in favor?
Pretty big.
Yeah.
How long have they gone on?
Some of them go on a while, they make little bits of payments here and there, thinking that it's going to cover it throughout the year. You have the opportunity to shut them off after a quarter if they don't pay
Yeah.
within a month, but it's never been brought forward to do that, so.
Well, if they have the intention to pay, I guess it's not
Mhm.
nice to cut them off. So,
Yeah, that's right.
Any other questions?
Just how do they get that big though? Like that's just water supply?
Yeah.
There's no work there done or anything?
That's
to that?
more than 1/4 though, is it?
Oh, yeah, for sure, yep,
That's gotta be close to a year for $1,500.
yep.
Any other questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you very much. Resolution 277, 2024, be it resolved the council approve unpaid accounts to be wrote off as follows. Utility account 120020 for $25.72. Can I have a mover, please? Dallas, second Malcolm. Any questions, comments on that one? Is that just somebody unhooked or something?
Yeah, you know what was final bill, and they moved and
Okay.
they did the payment.
And that'll come out of the utility account, not out of general operation. Any other questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Resolution 278, 2024, be it resolved the council appoint Rachel Andrews as the municipal emergency coordinator for the municipality of North Cypress-Langford as of October 15, 2024. Can I have a mover, please? Alice, seconder. Malcolm? Any questions on that? Robbie?
She's a very busy woman. And with this part 3 she's taken on now. And she lives south of the river. Like, I know for now that might be a stopgap thing, but she does different work down south there at different places too, right?
Yeah.
Like,
She's currently my assistant, Matt.
well, I just don't know how she's gonna find time. Like, she has to take time off during the day, she has to go into stuff. I don't know.
She currently does that already. She
Other
currently
areas,
goes to
those
all
courses
emergency.
Oh, no, yeah, I understand, but this is just something else on
Yeah.
top of everything, right?
Does something have to evaluate after a year and see how it goes with Robbie?
I don't know, we've got, not concerns, but we know how busy she is just from the planning board. Right? I just not sure that's in our best interest. I think she's good at that. So
Yeah.
it's not her ability, it's just her time.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I mean, we can look, whatever we want to do, but we can look at it for a year or something, but it's just,
How does compensation work for that position?
it hasn't been compensated in the past.
Okay.
Not saying it shouldn't be, it's something that's happening more and more often, emergencies are happening more and more often. So it is something that council should think about compensating in the future. A lot of municipalities are starting to compensate for it, because it is time consuming. You do have to go to these meetings, you do have to, prepare, and then if there's emergency, of course, you compensate them fully for that, but it's something we really need to talk about.
does the town compensate Kelly?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, it was a paid position, advertisement position.
Well, I kind of agree with Ray. I think for now, we'll appoint her and see how it goes with her.
Gotta start somewhere.
You know,
Gotta have somebody.
unless what would the option be?
I just
advertise,
stay
or
there. I
you
just stay there
stay
for now,
I know
yeah.
how busy you are.
But
so
then it's
that's-
taken away from your job too.
Yeah,
So,
And then when we talked with Rachel previously about it, she seemed to think she had the time for it, she was already doing the assistant side of it.
Oh, yeah, she'll say that for sure.
I know, but you're
Like-
saying, like you mentioned, maybe reevaluate after
I-
meetings, something personnel can talk about.
We didn't apply for anybody,
no,
so
The thing is,
she's qualified.
Yeah, if there's no compensation, like, it's pretty hard
You're not gonna
to
get
hire,
it.
go out and hire somebody outside of
Yeah.
the municipal realm.
I think we gotta start somewhere, and this is somewhere we're gonna evaluate and see how we're making out,
Yeah.
see how things are going, so. Anybody else got any comments on that? All in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you. Resolution 279, 2024, be it resolved that council approve the purchase of 4,413 cubic meters of sea base at a cost of $11.73 per ton, taxes included, for construction at the new campground area. I have a mover, please. Robbie, seconder. Alice, discussion
Well, that's,
for your driveway or your
it,
walkway or trails?
it's
and
for
that?
all the, it's for the driveway and the roadway in the park. And what happened was we had approved this already, and then it just didn't get done, the tenders didn't get put out and that. And now they're out, and we had to pull them back. We had a meeting today, so there's a couple issues inside those tenders. But if we approve this again, then it makes the other tenders that much easier. And then this is part of our payment towards the campground, out of the, yeah. So we've already approved it once, but at the meeting the other day, we stated that we can't. It was kind of an old thing, and I didn't think we should be able just to say, yes, we can do it again. So,
Where are the funds coming from?
it can come from our gravel budget. Did you have extra? No.
It was a spot, it was earmarked from back in the budget.
Pardon?
There was a line that was supposed to pull from back in the budget, I remember us discussing it, where it was coming from, I just can't remember which one specifically.
Is that coming from the campground expansion thing, or facility grant, or what, reserve or something like that?
What was a reserve, there's one put away, we're pulling it from.
We, is it discussed on the COVID?
see, the biggest thing about this is if we approve this, it makes the other two tenders easy.
Oh, yeah.
Very easy. If we don't approve this, then these other tenders get dragged out because the contractors bidding on the campground don't know where they're getting their gravel from. So this way we can put in this tender, it's just gonna be haul and placement
Yeah,
from there. And then there will be another tender for 1,000 tons, I believe 1,000 tons for A-base.
It was in the budget, I just can't remember what line.
Yeah.
where's this coming from, Robbie?
I believe it was coming from one of the reserves for
No,
parks
no,
and
but
rec.
who's where are you getting the gravel from?
Oh, I'm sorry. Darius Works has a gravel pit 1 mile into Elton,
Okay,
and it's on the south side. It's just between Douglas, it's back in down there. So what they're gonna do is, if we approve this, then they'll make it this fall for us, and then as soon as it's thawed out in the spring, they can haul it.
any other questions, anyone on that? All in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you. Resolution 280, 2024, be it resolved that council approve quote 3143 for recommended repairs to the Carberry shop overhead doors in the amount of $4,373.66, taxes included. Have a mover, please. Malcolm, seconder. Robbie, any
Is that
questions?
fixed already?
Nope.
Oh, we just discussed it.
There was repairs done on the one, but this is like the regular upkeep that's never been done. These are all the extras.
Discussion, all in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank
Sorry,
you.
who seconded that?
Resolution 281, 2024, be it resolved that council approve quote number 3144 for recommended repairs to the Street Boss Shop overhead doors in the amount of $1,463.69, taxes included. Mover, please. Seconder.
Davidson.
All in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you. Be it Resolution 282, 2024, be it resolved that council approve quote number 3145 for recommended repairs on the Brookdale Shop overhead doors in the amount of $1,379.91, taxes included. Have a mover, please.
Davidson.
And Harold? Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Resolution 283, 2024, be it resolved the council approve repair to Boundary Road 84 North and 93 West at a cost of $1,763 with cost shared equally with the RM of Rosedale. Can I have a mover, please?
Davidson.
Seconder, Malcolm. That's the correction line, I'm assuming.
And that's our cost.
Yeah. I didn't think that was too bad.
Any more questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Resolution 284, 2024, be it resolved that council approve the quote from Prairie Tree Entrenching for mulching and brushing a total distance of 1 mile on Road 80 West at a cost of $6,000 plus GST. Can I have a mover, please?
No.
Malcolm, seconder.
Davidson. Is that both sides?
Yep.
Yeah. That's not too bad then.
So this is,
I'm assuming this is the one with
This is-
natural resources? Or
Yes,
whatever?
this is the WMA area, and they're gonna mulch it, and then their equipment, they're planning on pushing all the stumps that were left with the little bits back in the hole.
is that
level
the
of
place that we pushed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they cleaned it all up.
So this was to repair the oops that we did.
Yeah.
Well, like anything over 6 inches could be left there.
Yeah.
Anything, or no, anything over 6 inches has to be removed.
Yes.
Anything under could remain there, so.
Did we get more than one quote or no?
He got a price from the other one that we, that had submitted earlier, but it was way more.
What's way more? I'm just
Even,
curious.
even just to bring the equipment, it was $750. And then, I don't have to
$50 an hour or something?
Yes, like it
$20 an
was.
hour.
It was
We did
what
have
it
another
cost.
quote anyway, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
This isn't a bad price, I don't think.
Any other questioning? All in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you. Resolution 285, 2024, be it resolved that council approve municipal right-of-way application form from Bell MTS, file number M018512, to place a new pedestal 0.3 meter on road allowance approximately 80 meters north of the creek south of the intersection of Road 91 West and Road 69 North, and that a new pedestal 0.3 meters on the road allowance approximately 100 meters south of the creek crossing that will be directionally drilled on easement under the creek between the two pedestal to replace defective cable under the creek. Have a mover, please. Harold, seconder. Robbie. Where's this? 9169.
That would be
Pardon me?
straight south of,
91 is straight south of my place there, then
yeah,
8 miles, so it must be down around Brookville, 353
yeah,
somewhere.
south of Brookdale and east.
Go down there, got creek down there.
If they go find Road 69.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
We got a mover and a seconder for that?
Yeah.
Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you. Something like the spruce tree on the corner over there and the old wobbly, whatever.
That was MTS's description. Fed it forward.
Speaking of that sign though, like, should we have like a day where we promote that, you know, if you happen to have stolen that sign 20 years ago and it's in the shop, like a no questions asked, like, can you drop them back off day? Because they're all over the place.
And see what Elton does, they have a piece of wood and then they just have 69 reflector bolted to an ugly piece of wood.
Right.
So nobody takes them.
Yeah. There's, it was done 20 years ago. No one actually still wants them. They're just there because it's illegal. So.
Want to go into communication over here?
What was that one thing Rob added?
Oh, Robbie, we wanted to add that, but the Ag Society in Newport regarding the, did we get a quote or a question? Nothing from them
She
yet?
brought nothing for it, and I talked to her on
Was that-
Friday evening, and she had nothing.
How much was the ask for it?
They
It was
didn't
just
Oh, they
added
just
to
asked
the
for
floor.
support?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
They're
told her-
looking at replacing, it's the nails they're looking at replacing, not the whole roof, the way according to
Right.
Justin Chukolsky. He's the chairman of the board there.
Is he?
Okay. I was talking to him and he said they were more looking because the seals are gone, all the nail heads, and they're looking at
Well, you just
replacing
did the whole
nails.
shop, didn't you? Just had
Yeah.
something happen? Yeah.
$4,500.
4,500 did the whole shop.
Two guys, whole shop with oversized screws, and screws were expensive because I'm with a wall of,
Yeah.
yeah, it's $4,500 for two guys to do it.
I'll get a hold of them again.
But they were quite reasonable
Yeah.
for wage.
Who was it, Lisa somebody?
Yeah.
Rob?
So last Friday, I was in Nipawin, and I did some touring on some of our jobs that we've done up there, and I went to the fairground. And I wanted to see what the roof looked like. And you drive in and there's a red building there, and then the big one.
Yep.
So I didn't know which building it was. So there was some equipment there, there was a horse trailer and a few things. So I stopped and the door was open, I yelled. And it's, this red building, it's right full of saddles and stalls.
Just a bunch of tack and stuff.
Tack. So, like, who's that?
Wouldn't that be like a horse 4-H?
Because there's horses, like, when I went around the building looking at the roof, and there's horses at the south end. And they've been there for a while.
No, that's Ken, I think.
I think
That's,
that's Ken.
that's an agreement with the Ag Society and
But
him,
what,
and I don't know how that works.
well, maybe we should find out if we're gonna make payments, if we're gonna help pay for that roof, because, I mean, if, it looks like he's not living there, but he looks like that place is full.
Yep.
And he is using that barn.
I'm not sure what the deal is.
But I mean, like,
Yeah.
seriously, like here, it doesn't happen. We compare Neepo and Carberry all the time, and here, that would not happen here without us
I
knowing.
want to say it's partially storage for people who rent the facility.
I think like he's the one that
Because they'll
looks
bring the horse
after all
in.
that area too, and I don't know what the agreement is up there.
If people bring their horses in to ride there, then take them home.
Maybe, but,
They rent it,
but what
I
I'm
just-
saying is like, they want money, right? So is he renting that building? Is he, like, is there a soft if he does labor and like all winter?
Those are the questions for the ag board. I
Yeah,
guess.
for the Ag Board.
Like, that's what I'm saying, they ask for money. I'm just saying, like,
What's the
if
deal?
if you've got somebody if he's taking horses in there to either train or to whatever, that's a business. Like, if he's doing that as a business, what's he paying? Is he paying rent? I'm just asking, right? Like, I found it shocking that was right
So
full.
it was the red building, you think then?
Oh, no, it was the red building.
That's there, yeah.
Yeah, and then those horses, there's 3 colts at the back there, they've been there. Like, you know when an animal stands around in crowds. So who cleans the crowds? Yeah, but
I don't.
I don't
know. I don't know the relationship.
I don't know either, but if they're asking for money,
Yeah.
we better get some, I think, we need some details on why, like who's doing what there. That's all I,
It's something that's been there for 100 years, but I'm not sure what the script or what the agreement ever has been.
but that's very, but is that right? Right?
Well,
If we're asking the taxpayers to pay, I just,
We don't know.
I know
the whole
nothing
story,
about
do
what's
we?
going on there. I think we should ask.
All I can do is like compare it to Carberry, like the 4-H barn, they rent it out every winter for storage of RVs.
Yeah.
and there's stuff going on there all the time, rented.
They rent it, yes.
Yeah, and they pay rent.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Look
like-
at
Like,
that.
yeah, it's just, it was weird. I just never expected to see that. Like, it's a fair board building. It's been there forever. Yeah.
I'll see if I can find something about that then, sure. Thank you. Okay, seeing as Rachel came in the door.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you this morning, Rachel?
Pretty good. How about yourselves?
Good, thank you.
Got your haircut.
Pardon?
Got your haircut.
I did. Driving me crazy.
Planning matters, be it resolved that council adjourn the regular meeting at 9:28 to deal with planning matters. Can I have a mover, please? Malcolm, seconder.
Davidson.
Karen. All in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you.
We have a stack of them to go through today.
Okay, you wanna get, it's up to you, Rachel. Wilson is first one,
You betcha.
9:30,
Are we?
half a minute.
As long as we're close, we should be good. My Fitbit died this weekend, so I have no time. Perfect. So we do have a conditional use order application on the table for Wilson. It goes along with a variation order as well. And this is for, there are two conditions of the subdivision that had been applied for that you've already seen at your table. So that was subdivision 4155-24-8612. And it is affecting parcel northwest 141214. And it's one of our very standard subdivisions. It's a rural non-farm dwelling site. So the conditional use order is our standard application to establish the rural non-farm dwelling site. And then the variation order attached to this one is due to parcel sizing. So with the layout that they proposed in their SAM, I don't know if, yeah, Teresa's got it up there. It's a little difficult to see, but they've applied to create the rural non-farm dwelling site at 20.20 acres, which is over our 10-acre maximum that we have listed out in the zoning bylaw. So these are two very standard subdivision conditions, I should say. Were there any questions on this one, or do you want me to just keep rolling through all of them and then we can kind of go back?
We wanna wait for the times, or do we just keep moving?
I haven't had any, I shouldn't say that.
Have you had any?
The only variation order that I've had any questions on is for the Kruger Glazer application. But the question that was brought up isn't necessarily something that can be really discussed in their variation hearing because it has more to do with the sewer system, less to do about the actual parcel sizes. But we can kind of wait and go through them if you'd like, or.
Watch your eyes.
Watch my eyes.
So bright.
You haven't had any
I haven't
comments,
had
questions?
anything either.
Nobody's ever had
No.
anything, so. We'll proceed then, keep on going through.
We can keep trucking, and then if someone does come in, you can address it then.
Yep.
Okay, so the next application is also related to a subdivision. This one, council had addressed two of the other variation orders at the last council meeting. There were three associated to this subdivision, and I missed one during the initial application process. So this is associated to subdivision 4155-23-8566 for Cheryl and Jim Beaumont, acting on behalf of James Radford. So this is another application that was a conditional use order for a rural non-farm, and then some variation orders to tidy up existing structures on site. So the variation order that's on the table today is to reduce the rear yard setback from 50 feet to 23 feet, and that is for an existing structure on site. It was missed. So council had approved the conditional use order and the variation order for the other setbacks to bring them into compliance at the last meeting. So this is associated to Northeast 351415. And like I said, we've seen it a few times. This is just an error on our part. Generally, we try not to put too many things into one application, so this doesn't happen, but we had done 2 in the last one, so.
It's right on the north side of the municipal shop.
You betcha, yeah. Very standard rural non-farm dwelling site subdivision.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect, and the last one is variation order 10. This is the application that is associated to a subdivision that we addressed in 2021. It's for Mr. Alec. It's actually Edward Kruger's property. Mr. Alec Glazer is acting as the applicant. So this is a parcel that is located in the RR10, the Rural Residential 10 area. And he is looking at creating a 4-parcel subdivision. Edward Kruger has his home on the larger piece, and it will stay as the residual piece, and then he's creating these 3 additional parcels with an internal road. So the only question, like I mentioned earlier, that had come into the planning district associated with this application was not so much a question, but more of a concern about the sewer systems that would be allowed just because of the water table in the area. During the subdivision process, changing their name, Conservation and Climate and Land Use Development, they basically put in a condition that only septic tanks would be allowed unless they could prove that they had appropriate soil and a proper location for a field. So as far as I understand, Mr. Glazer these parcels will be for family members, and they're all going to install a holding tank instead of a field. So. But the variation order itself is to reduce these 2 bottom parcels. They don't meet 10 acres. One is 8.7 acres and the other one is 7.8 acres. And that's mainly due to the road that kind of, as it tapers in, it wasn't put in as straight as it could have been. So, yes?
Good question on this. With these other parcels in similar areas and similar subdivisions along 351, we've requested that fire access be allowed.
You betcha.
That's in this as well?
Yes, so we did, we actually circulated out this application to the fire department for their comment and review. And basically those comments at that time were that every lot line that is dividing the 2 parcels be cleared. So I did have a chat with Mr. Glazer, and he was having the fire department come out and review because the municipality built that road going north. And there was quite a bit of debris left over from the building of the road, so he had to clear that out. And then as well, they built the internal road, so there was a lot of trees and brush piles that needed to be cleared. So he knows he's got to have the fire department sign off on that, and he is working with them on that.
Just wanted to make
You
sure.
betcha, yeah.
Are we going to assume responsibility for the internal road? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's got to reach out and have it reviewed. I'm not sure. I know the municipality built the one. I don't know if the municipality built or was involved with the second one. So
I don't think so. He came in here and he asked about it, and
Okay.
so Matt's going to have a look at it.
Okay.
He goes back and home.
With
Yeah.
our supervision or whatever?
Yeah.
Sure.
It does have the packed turnaround at the end. I know that for sure because Mr. Kruger built his home after the road was built. So I've driven that quite a bit. But
Is there a special size to that turnaround in
Yes.
case school buses and that? in the
it has to
future?
meet what was proposed on the SAM, and I think I know it's got a dimension in there. I just don't remember it off the top of my head. But it's basically it works out depending on the length of your fire apparatus, the actual turnaround. So
Should consider school buses in there too.
school bus longer than your longest fire truck?
You get some of the long school buses, yeah, they'll
Okay.
be longer than what the fire trucks are here probably.
Okay, yeah.
Just a comment anyway.
For sure, and like I said, I don't know how that road was built, so it's definitely something that Matt will have to look into.
But, and for turnaround for the grader, it's
No, for sure.
That's more what I'm worried
Yeah.
it's bigger than anything, so.
So do we approve this before Matt looks at it? Or should we hear?
The
from Matt
subdivision
first?
was already approved. We're simply discussing the sizing of the lots as a variation order.
I'd say we just don't assume responsibility clearing the road until it was up to code, right? Because if it's not up to our standards, then
Well,
we
Why
put a
didn't we,
grader in there.
why wouldn't we look at that then before we approve the subdivision? I don't get that.
Subdivision's already been approved.
No, I understand,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like, I mean,
Like the road agreement policy should have been
Yeah.
part
At
of
that
the,
time as well.
At the time when he opened up the road, and I'm assuming it was the same share that you guys normally do. I don't know if he had full, I'm sure he had the idea to do the subdivision, but I don't know if it was actually something he had applied for as of yet. So,
I remember correctly when you brought the subdivision forward earlier, I think he was gonna look after the road, was kind of, we were under the impression
I
of
can't
the
remember.
internal part,
yeah.
but
They're all approved with a road building agreement anyway,
mm-hmm.
are we not? Somewhere in the discussion.
It's typically a requirement that
Yep.
any roads built are built with municipal standards.
Yeah,
And I did tell him he may have to sign the road agreement.
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, we did
Okay.
have the condition that the applicant enter into a development agreement with the municipality in regards to the road access. So if it isn't built to your standards, he will be required to augment it or completely take it out and rebuild it.
Okay.
But again, the comment that did come in was from an adjacent landowner on that septic, so I did provide him Abby Bingham's contact information. If he had any concerns, I suggested that he bring it up there. All of the systems that were to be installed in those 3 lots will have to be installed by a certified installer and approved by the province anyways.
What else you got there?
What else I have? I'm hoping we have a first reading.
Yes, we have that too.
Okay. Okay, I apologize. I didn't bring any of the Graham subdivisions with me.
You did?
Nope.
I have.
I have, we've talked about them so many times in office that I completely forgot they were on the agenda today. That is my error, but I can run you through them all, so.
You got a copy of them there, Teresa?
Yeah, I sure do.
Bring them up and then we'll talk about them.
Want
over
the
again.
application, the letter to council, the report to council, which one do you want?
The application will have the maps in them.
Yeah.
Like I said, we have 3 applications from the Grahams. 2 of them are yard site subdivisions and one of them is a recreational facility, which is their shooting range that's located. They're all in this roughly the same area. Okay, so this is 8646. So this is on behalf of Brent and, does she go by Patricia or Patty?
She goes by Pat.
Pat, okay. Pat Graham. It is for, if I'm not mistaken, it's just slightly over 20 acres. Yeah. 28.03 rural non-farm dwelling site parcel. It is located north of Highway 351 in the Melbourne area. So if I'm not, yeah, it's an existing yard site. You can kind of see on this bottom picture here, we do have a smaller yard site in the corner. If I'm not mistaken, they are looking at, this isn't their home yard, is it, Rob? Or is this the home yard?
That is their home
Okay,
yard right
okay.
now, yeah.
Yeah, so there, like I said, there are 2 rural non-farm dwelling sites that are being created. I've had a few discussions with him about what he's doing with the residual farmland, if he's selling it off or what his plans are. I think they're planning on selling it, am I not?
I
I understood it was already sold.
Already sold? Okay, I was under the impression they were kind of rearranging some land to deal with capital gains and whatnot. But again, it's like I said, it's a pretty standard rural non-farm dwelling site. There'll be a requirement for a conditional use order. There'll be a requirement for a variation order because it's oversized. Can you scroll a little bit? I think maybe up, see if we can get a Sam. Yeah. So there is an ejector on site, so obviously they'll have a condition in there that it either has to be located properly or to have to be removed. These are in meters, and I didn't bring my conversion with me. It does have to be 200 feet away from property line. Again, very standard rural non-farm dwelling site subdivisions. There isn't going to be any additional access required. From my understanding, there is an approach. We've got an approach, and then the residual farmland will have its own approach. If not, we always suggest council add in the condition that any additional road or approaches be at the cost of the applicant. I don't think there was anything too spectacular with this one. They're all, like I said, the 2 rural non-farms are pretty standard. The recreational facility is a little different.
And the other one was for his, is that his brother? Or which?
Ray.
Ray, yeah. Is that for?
Yeah, because this is the one south of 351.
Yeah.
So this is a very simple one because it is only 10 acres, so it is just a conditional use order for a rural non-farm dwelling site. There is the potential for setback requirements. It does look like we do have a structure fairly close to the one side.
That's the potato storage.
Potato storage?
Yeah.
Okay. Teresa, can you scroll up a little bit to that, Sam? Yeah, so we will have a variation order on the one building. Just it's obviously too close. The minimum requirement is 25 feet for a rural non-farm.
So that specific cut didn't cross the highway to the rest of the,
Pardon me, sorry.
that specific cut is just on that side of the highway?
Yeah, it's just on the north side. Yeah. So this is south of 351, but along Municipal Road. I apologize, I don't have my map with me where I've written in the road. But again, an ejector, so they are looking at that 200-foot clearance. We do have multiple access points off the municipal road. What is the municipality's standpoint with municipal access that are in close proximity to each other? Because obviously we've got access on the one corner for the rural non-farm. We do have 2 access points down here. I know Highways has basically said that in a situation like this, they will ask that the applicant remove one. Is there any concerns with the municipality with how many access points you have onto a municipal road?
They're already existing.
I think if they're existing, I think
Okay.
we're okay, yeah.
For sure. Yeah, Highways
Especially
is,
when that's potato land and they have the irrigation right on there.
okay,
Controls right there too.
for
so-
sure, yeah. Yeah, it was just something, again, thinking that I know Highways is being a little bit difficult with multiple approaches, so.
What else you got there?
The third application will be for their established gun range. So they have a rifle club out that way. So it's kind of an odd parcel because they're looking at just cutting that top end out. It's already, like it's an existing gun range, so there's a portion that is cleared, there's a building on site. If I'm not mistaken, there's no hydro. So there really isn't anything out there. The building is on skids. It's not a permanent structure by any means. We do have recreational facilities as a conditional use order. Now, he did provide a letter from the municipality when it was first established granting permission. We are still asking for a conditional use order to reestablish that recreational facility because at the time it didn't require a conditional use order. And obviously if we cut it, we'll have a new parcel with a new land description and new legal description. So we want to definitely associate something to it. The sticking point on this one is access. So there really isn't a developed roadway to said recreational facility.
It's pretty decent though.
Yeah, the only problem is it's utilizing a parcel that isn't theirs. So we are asking for a shared access agreement so that if that parcel were ever to sell, that the new owners wouldn't deny access to it, because otherwise it's a landlocked parcel. And that was a concern community and regional planning had, is obviously we don't want to create small landlocked parcels in the rural setting. So that is another condition that should be listed out in the report to council.
Yeah, I can't see being an issue because the person that
Yeah.
bought that will be buying the next one, so.
Yeah. Yeah, again, it's more of a kind of a CYA for the gun range, just to make sure that they are always able to access that location. It is licensed through the province, because there was some discussion about how they could operate in the situation that they're in, but it is licensed and provincially regulated, so yeah, pretty simple. And again, we did stipulate, or I did talk to Mr. Graham, that if the municipality felt like they needed a road, that would be something that he would have to come in and discuss. But as long as the municipality is all right with having the shared access agreement with the current entrance to the property through the associated land, we aren't going to force the issue.
So how do they get in there?
So, can you scroll down to an aerial view?
From the old highway, there is.
Yeah,
that
they
Yeah.
come straight up.
Yeah.
through here.
It's
Oh, maybe it's,
halfway between back road and like
yeah.
finished road.
Right there.
So you can see the access trail marked on this lower map. So they come right off Highway 351, right up through that quarter. So we have listed up that quarter to have an access agreement on it.
So that's, yeah, it's in the middle of the section, it's not on. a
Yeah,
road.
there is no road allowance. So there, if the municipality did want to force the issue, there would have to be some purchasing of land and,
Yeah.
and whatnot for him. So
It's pretty well maintained.
Yeah.
yeah, you might want to also stipulate. Now, I don't know if they use it year round without any power or heat out there. I would be surprised, but that the municipality isn't liable for snow clearing or anything like that. That might be something that you'd want to also have written out. Because again, typically when we subdivide parcels, the municipality takes some form of ownership with the access, but obviously we don't want to do that here because you guys don't want to have to grade this or maintain it. So that might be something to put in there as well.
Put in a stipulation saying that we would not provide access to it.
Well, it'd be up to him how he got access to his own piece of property, but
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Just add that little footnote in there saying in the future we would never provide access or services.
Yes. And then at least that way, you know, maintenance isn't ever going to fall back on the municipality. You know, it's- yeah. Because I'll be honest, I haven't personally driven out here to see this parcel. I don't know how
Full
wide.
disclosure,
you know.
I rent pasture all around all of that, so.
Oh,
I can vouch for
okay.
it.
Is it the trail that goes in is like big enough for a pickup truck, but not
Oh,
big
yeah,
enough for
yeah. Oh,
equipment?
yeah,
Or
right.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
It's,
Yeah.
it's pretty good shape.
Yeah, excellent. So
okay, any other comments there, Rachel? Questions from anybody on that stuff?
we didn't have anything else we discussed at the same planning district board, did we, Ray? Or Rob? No, I don't think we.
You got it all there? yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything spectacular other than the one catch-all, which is the new conditional use order. So.
Watch your eyes.
So great.
Hard to watch.
The only thing not listed here that was in the package we got sent was
At some point.
the drainage. We got the drainage application sent in.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
So.
Which one?
Some point
Some point.
north of Williams.
Oh, the batter's
Yeah.
So
Sure, I'll keep
Yeah,
this
did
off
you read
again.
that one?
okay, so what do we got? Looks like all the outlets are onto natural waterways within the property, which is generally a concern. You scroll down just a little bit, there isn't any extra wording on the bottom there, is there? No, okay, perfect.
Want me to put the other documentation for it?
Did they include a letter of intent? Or just the maps?
Nah.
Okay.
It was the application too.
There wasn't much on this for application.
Yeah, as long as it's staying completely within that quarter or that property. Okay, so control structure.
They got some runs that are running close to our ditch, but it's actually pouring water out of our ditch to the water runway in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Put more water into that creek though than floods our road.
I know.
Then he's got another quarter east of that a mile he's complaining about.
Mm-hmm.
So they're pulling all the water into the middle? Into
Into
that-
When I read it, they're pulling all the water into the
Okay.
middle. That is what the plan shows.
Which way does the water run?
It runs to the
right.
east, to
To
the
the-
right, to
okay.
the east.
So one of the requirements they will have is to approach all the downstream water or downstream landowners that would be affected by this.
And there'll be a whitewater watershed concern with that one,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah, so like it will get circulated out to water stewardship. So I'm not sure, do you know who your rep is up this way? Is Ingrid Rothney still up here or is she just down south now?
it's Ingrid.
Ingrid?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So one of the things I typically do, so obviously we have we typically have the application come in, I review it, I should send it out to you guys. Then we have the requirement that development permit be signed off on, stipulating all of the actual, like I'll list all of the lineal feet that they're planning on installing. And then I also include that our permit is not valid unless they receive provincial permit approval through water stewardship. So I can reach out to Ingrid and figure out where this application is. There is a website that has or their portal that shows all these applications, but it won't show it until it's approved, so.
On the top end there along the road, do they have to stay back 125 feet with their tile from the property
In the
line?
ground, no. Anything that's above ground, yes. They have to be set back appropriately, and
Unless they vary it down.
unless they vary it down. We did have at one point in time, especially in the corners of pivots, where we did reduce that quite a bit, but with the new zoning bylaw, we don't have that irrigation set out the same way. But as long as it's just within the ground and there's nothing sticking up that could be a potential concern, we don't have the same requirement for setbacks. So.
On the last one, it says there's no drainage plan. If you go back up, right there, name and date of drainage plan. So at what point do they get that?
Drainage plan, sorry.
It's under the drainage network, tile drainage network. And then the second, name and date of drainage, tile drainage plan. When does that come into effect? Like,
So the tile drainage plan is the plan from Beau Rush showing all of the tiles.
the tiles?
Yeah, that is the drainage plan. So I'm not sure why they didn't check that off, because obviously they've mapped it all out with all of their tiles.
And the actual water drainage plan is, like, they show the different areas on there and the orange, but
Well, the plan is just above it in areas of tile acres and outlet flow and rate. Outlet number 1, 8 acres, 38 gallons per minute, outlet 2, 40, 189. That's the received outlets on each of the outlets that are shown. When you go back to the actual map itself, you'd have to really zoom in, but it shows at each one of those points, 1, 2, 3, and it shows what each part of the plan drains into, where it's exiting into the main ditch,
Yeah.
and the flow related to each one of those exit pipes, which is something Watershed would have to address, because at all those exit points, when you start picking up water flow, what sort of erosion are creating in the ditch? What sort of control works are going to be in place, if any?
yep. What's the yellow line again? That was a bigger pipe?
Just a bigger pipe.
Bigger pipe, yeah, the reds are the standard tile, and then it goes to 6 and to 8s.
Right.
Can you scroll down a bit, Teresa? Just there should be a schedule right at the bottom. Yeah, so they've got all of the colors listed out.
It's a 4.
Yeah, they got 4, 6, and 8 in this application.
I didn't notice any dugouts on the south half. That would be an issue for them to get the guys to sign off on.
How do you mean?
Well, before, in other tile drainage projects where the tile runs right adjacent to a neighbor's land, we've asked that if it was to possibly affect the water table and a usable dugout, cattle dugout,
yeah. There's
I couldn't see anything on there on the north end of that south half that would affect it. Because the last thing we want to do is drop
No, for sure.
water table
Yeah.
on the dugout.
Yeah.
Someone would get shot.
It's very close to the border between sub-districts too, so
Yeah.
you have to find that.
Well, with you guys being on Watershed, I'd be really concerned as to how much water it's going to pull, surface water, into those pipes coming off the south half. Like, that's a lot of, I'd want to look at the topo as well for the south half and just get what sort of overland flooding you get that would hit those
Well,
pipes.
see, the south half, that's kind of within the boundary, so some of that water flows
The other
south and
direction,
east.
yeah.
I know, but some of it's going to go north.
I don't think it's an issue.
No.
Okay,
No,
just,
I think we're okay there.
okay, good.
At least he's applying for it. That's more than a lot of people are out there.
I know.
Yeah, so like I mentioned before, we would issue a development permit for this, and with the stipulation that once the provincial approving authority has approved it, that they provide comment. That seems to be the catch-all, so as long as they're not entering into the municipal ditch or doing works that that are not compliant with your irrigation policy, as long as they receive provincial approval. And obviously, one of the requirements for provincial approval is that they speak to any landowner downstream that it could potentially affect. We generally haven't had too much of an issue with them, so. Yeah.
Whatever happened to his other one over by Glendale School area, that one? Did that one ever proceed or whatever? Where he was gonna dump into our ditch, we said he had that directional bore onto the road over to the north corner, west of Newton's.
He hasn't proceeded with it as far as I
He
know.
hasn't proceeded any
No.
further with it.
And I've chatted with,
Previous work there though, I thought.
Not top draining, no, okay.
Yeah.
He applied for the tile.
He's done some surface work there.
Yeah.
But he had to get Sprays to sign off to get that one pipe to go under the road and into the ditch.
Anyway, that one there, like, I don't see an issue with it really.
Well, it's replacing V ditches basically, so that's
Yeah.
what was out there before.
Yeah.
I bailed that a few times when Brian had it.
Yeah, right. Any other things there, Rachel? That's it?
the only other thing I have is first reading on a zoning bylaw amendment.
I'm gonna work through the rest of this other first.
Sure, if you'd like, yeah.
Okay, resolution 265, 2024, be it resolved the public hearing regarding a conditional use order and variation orders be approved at 9:59 a.m. and that the regular meeting of council resume. Can I have a mover, please? Seconder, please. Dallas, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Resolution 266, 2024, be it resolved that council approve the conditional use order number CU 1224 NCL for Sheila Wilson, acting on behalf of Robert and Myrtle Wilson, owners of the property legally described as Northwest 141214 WPM and located at 79-134 Road 69 North to establish a rural non-farm dwelling site within the AR agricultural zone. Can I have a mover, please? Robbie, seconder Malcolm. Any questions on that? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Resolution 267, 2024, be it resolved that council approve a variation order number VO0824 NCL for Sheila Wilson, acting on behalf of Robert and Myrtle Wilson, owners of the property legally described as Northwest 141214 WPM and located at 79134 Road 69 North to establish a rural rural non-farm dwelling site within the AR agricultural rural zone to increase the minimum parcel size for a rural non-farm dwelling site within the AR agricultural rural zone as a condition of subdivision application CPS number 4155248612 from the minimum 10 acres to a minimum parcel size of 20.20 acres in the AR agricultural zone. Have a mover, please. Robbie, seconder. Harold. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Resolution number 268, 2024. Be it resolved, the council approve variation order number VO0924 NCL for Cheryl and Jim Beaumont, acting as the applicant on behalf of James Radford, owner of the property legally described as Northeast 351415 WPM in the municipality of North Cypress-Langford, and located at 83105 Road 85 West to reduce the rear yard setback within the AGR agricultural livestock restricted zone from a rear yard setback of 50 feet to a rear yard setback of 23 feet in the AGR agricultural livestock restricted zone as condition of subdivision application CPS number 4155238566. Can I have a mover, please? Malcolm, seconder.
Jameson.
Jaren. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Resolution 269, 2024, be it resolved that council approve variation order number VO1024 NCL for Alex Glazier, acting on behalf of Edward Kruger, owner of the property legally described as Northwest 11116 WPM in the municipality of North Cypress-Langford, located along Municipal Road 91 West, to decrease the minimum size parcel within the RR10 rural residential zone from a minimum parcel size of 10 acres to a minimum parcel size of 8.7 acres, lot 1, and minimum parcel size of 7.8 acres, lot 2, in the RR10 rural residential zone as a condition of subdivision 4155218328. Have a mover, please.
Oh, sorry.
Dallas, seconder. Malcolm. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Resolution 270, 2024, whereas council has received a subdivision application number 4155248646 from Brent William Graham, and Patricia Jean Graham for subdivision of the property legally described as Northeast 321013 in the municipality of North Cypress-Langford. Approval subject to the following conditions. A conditional use be obtained for the non-farm dwelling to ensure compliance with the zoning bylaw. Number 2, that a variation order be obtained increasing the allowable site area for proposed lot 1 from 10 acres to 28.03 acres in the AR zone. Number 3, that a variation order be obtained reducing the front yard setback for the house from the required 125 feet to 60 feet 3 inches as necessary to ensure compliance with the zoning bylaw. And number 4, that a variation order be obtained reducing the front yard setback for the garage from the required 25 feet to 22 feet 8 inches as necessary to ensure compliance with the zoning bylaw. Have a mover, please. Harold. Seconder, Robbie. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Resolution 271, 2024, whereas council has received subdivision application number 4155248647 from Ray Charles Graham, registered owner, Graham Farm Limited, for subdivision of property legally described as Southwest 341013 West in the municipality of North Cypress-Langford. Approval subject to the following conditions: that conditional use be obtained for the non-farm dwelling in the AG zone. That a variation order be obtained to reduce the required side yard setback for the non-farm dwelling as necessary to ensure compliance with the zoning bylaw. Can I have a mover, please? Malcolm. Seconder, Harold. Any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Resolution 272, 2024, whereas council has received subdivision application number 4155248648 from Brent William Graham and Patricia Jean Graham for subdivision of the property legally described as Northeast 321013W in the municipality of North Cypress-Langford. Approval to the following conditions. A conditional use order be obtained allowing for the establishment of a recreational facility within the AR agricultural rural zone, that a shared access agreement be established with Southeast 321013 WPN. Can I have a mover, please?
Do you want to add in there that we're not gonna provide future access?
Well, that'll be that, the shared agreement with the people that's already in there.
Okay.
Is it not?
Nothing to stop.
I just didn't know if we could have something in there about not, municipality will not provide access.
Well, number 2 says they share access agreement to establish with.
Sure.
Does that cover it?
Should.
You could put in a third comment, just basically stating that the municipality that will not provide maintenance or snow clearing of said access road or access trail. I wouldn't call it a road, because obviously roads are something the municipality is
Maintained.
mandated to perform, so.
You want to put something like that in? Everybody okay with that?
At least that way, in the future, if they were to sell the
You
range,
understand what's going on?
yeah, there is an understanding that from new owners that this isn't something that is municipally maintained. So.
Well, if they sold it for a dwelling, you'd have to get hydro in there anyway.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
No, and honestly, once the gun range is like the conditional use order is established on the property, it would be difficult to change it into anything else. So as long as they have an understanding that it's a trail and that they are on their own for it.
Okay. Number 3, the municipality will not supply road access or maintenance to access trail. Can I have a mover, please? Malcolm, seconder. Robbie?
Yep.
Any comments, anybody? Questions? All in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you.
I'm not sure how, but I'll try to make those shorter for you right now. There's a lot of words in it.
Good job. Bylaws, Resolution 273, 2024. Be it resolved that Bylaw 4, 2024, being a zoning bylaw amendment to the current zoning bylaw 7, 2022, has been given first reading on October 15, 2024. Further, be it resolved that a public hearing date be set for December 9, 2024 at 9:15 a.m. at the regular scheduled Municipality of North Cypress-Langford Council meeting. Can I have a mover, please?
Would you like me to read the bylaw before you?
Sure.
Go for it.
So this is bylaw 4 of 2024. Being a bylaw of the Rural Municipality of North Cypress-Langford to amend the Rural Municipality of North Cypress-Langford zoning bylaw 7 of 2022. Whereas Section 80 of the Planning Act provides that the zoning bylaw may be amended, now therefore the Council of the Rural Municipality of North Cypress-Langford in meeting duly assembled enacts as follows. Zoning map 1 of the RM of North Cypress-Langford zoning bylaw 7 of 2022 is hereby amended to reclassify an area of land located on the northeast of 11113 West, as shown outlined in a heavy broken line on the drawing attached as Appendix A to this bylaw, is hereby rezoned from AR Agricultural Rural District to RR10 Rural Residential District. So this is attached to the subdivision that we had from Mr. Lowen. So Dave Lowen has got that parcel on the north side of Highway 351 that he did the development plan amendment with Planning District to amend it from the AR to rural residential. It's a 22-acre parcel that he's cutting out of the bottom end of the 1/4. So we had to have him apply to take it out of rural, put it into rural residential, because there were too many cuts to that quarter. We only allowed 2, there's already a handful of them. So this is just playing catch up with some additional zoning. So he does have to take it, he did the development plan, now he's got to do your zoning bylaw because they all have to match. So this is basically, and you'll have to apologize, it's my draft copy. It's just the 22-acre parcel that they are taking out of rural and putting into rural residential. The rest of the parcel, the residual land, will stay agricultural. It's just this, and it's got the yard site in it. So that's all that we're doing here. So.
Okay. We have a mover for that, please. Harold, seconder. Malcolm. Any discussion on racial description there? All in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you.
Perfect. So the next step with this one is the planning district will send out notifications. We do have to follow the Planning Act's procedures on how to post it, where to post it, and the timelines that we have to follow. So there are 2 postings that will go in the Neepo banner, as well as being posted on our website and here in the office, and then we'll carry through. So everyone gets a crack at it. So.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have time for one question?
You betcha.
The Colony Lagoon, anything from the province?
So I had a good chat with Abby Bingham. So from my understanding, they have requested, or Conservation and Climate has requested that the engineer of record provide comment because the colony has made a request to modify the application. So there is a small modification. Now I don't know if that's going to cause it to be reposted and a whole procedure start over again. I don't think so, but I've explained to Conservation and Climate through Abby that the council is not willing to proceed until the province makes a decision. So unless the province is going to approve it, the municipality isn't going to entertain listening to the conditional use order and the variation order. So they are actively working with the engineer of record. He's a lot more chatty these days than he has been in the past, some obvious reasons. So hopefully we can get some movement with this, because obviously the colony would like to use the fully built and almost operational lagoon. So
I'm disappointed it's one small change. Like,
yes, so
there should be 3 or 4 quite large changes.
the only change that was discussed on my phone call with her, and obviously I haven't seen a revised application because they haven't seen a revised application, is that they were pulling out of the proposal to have the effluent dumped into Boggy Creek. So there's a modification there. It will not be entering Boggy Creek, but I don't know what the final proposed plan for it is.
We're gonna go.
Well, and then, like,
If it's clean enough, they could probably irrigate it.
I think the plan is to irrigate with it, but again, until I see a formal application, I'm hesitant to say that that's the final plan. But I know the game plan for my discussion with Abby was to remove the Boggy Creek application.
So that would make it better, actually, but, so our involvement is only the variance on the location of it,
Well,
right?
and the conditional use order. Technically they needed to apply and have it approved before establishing it.
Yeah.
And then the variation order is because they
It's
built it too
proximity to
close.
the road.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm very confused on why they got closer to the road when they already had a lagoon that they had done that was already set back, so.
is the southeast corners too close?
Yeah, it looks kind of like the slope of it too, I think.
Yeah.
To the north.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I mean.
Like, that's not a big deal as far as the road's concerned, I don't.
No, but just the whole process, how it happened,
Yeah,
right?
it needs to be
Like
done
trying
before,
to,
yeah.
trying
No, for sure,
to
yeah.
snow everybody over, like
Yeah.
play your cards right, you do the right thing and you get a lot
More
more.
of a technicality.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and from my conversations with colony members, they're equally as frustrated with their engineer of record, because it does seem like the ball was dropped from the professional's office, not
Yeah.
necessarily theirs, because they are
Yeah.
kind of dealing with the aftermath of what happens if this doesn't get approved, because obviously they've spent quite a bit of money to put in the whole lagoon system. They had mentioned that there was still aprons and obviously a lift station that still needed to get done. I basically told them many times not to proceed with anything else. I haven't been out there to see if anything else has been done, but they are of the understanding that they really can't do anything until these 3 things are cleared up. Their 2 conditions as well as the provincial permit, basically, because they do have to have a permit to operate, so.
Thank you.
It is something I check in with Abby every couple weeks just to see if there's any movement. She isn't the authority in that office on this project. It's Robert Boskowick, I think is how you say his last name, but I could be wrong. He won't return phone calls or emails. Abby is the only one from the province who's actually reached out to do any sort of legwork on this. And I think it's mainly because the colony has Abby's phone number. And like I say, she actually won't come out to site, and she was out in our area dealing with a septic installation issue. So she kind of, she's well versed in the area. So I will keep working with her and figure out if we can get any movement on this, so.
Thank you.
Anything else for planning?
Don't think so. That's it. Okay.
Bye. I'm gonna sneak
Thank
away.
you.
Thanks, Rachel.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend.
We take a break or something.
Yep. Communications, beef producers, just an invite to the meeting. MMA, Manitoba Grow Program.
Can't they think of a new name now? All their programs are grow now.
Exactly,
Yeah, I
that's what
know.
I was thinking,
It's very confusing.
yeah.
Yeah. RCMP stats, Crime Stoppers. North Relations, operating. Beautiful Plains Medical Clinic, increase in grant. Yeah, what was all in there, Teresa? Or do we need to discuss that?
700 now, I think.
Instead of 1,000, they want an increase to
Yeah.
700. And that's to think of for next year for,
For when we discuss budget.
yep, $5,720 based on per capita. Hasn't changed since 2011.
That's something that we have to be some discussion with because we should be doing accordingly down here too, sort of thing. We'll have to discuss that big time.
It's kind of different too, like Fairmount Health actually owns the clinic down here too. It's
Mhm.
not, that's in Holland.
I've heard the doctors group say different times, so that if they get enough doctors there, they would look to send in somebody on rotation to Carberry.
It's.
Yeah, that's been talked about.
So like.
Yeah,
if
our
they do
health
good in a
action
group,
committee
That would
has
almost
been-
be easier than having a small group here trying to recruit a doctor.
Yeah, our health action committee was requested to go down and
Yeah.
talk to theirs because they're intrigued to help them out.
Because I think a regional solution would be better than just each town trying to.
Well, fight
Oh,
this
yeah,
one another,
fight
yeah.
each other.
And it takes a good group of doctors to recruit a doctor who's gonna stay and know where they fit in that, you know? So it
Am
makes
I
Definitely something to look at.
T, speed decrease, increase, or injury retarder? You got any comments on that?
It was, did we not ask them at the joint meeting when they brought that up about they were gonna apply and they never asked us to?
They did apply.
And then we got told that we need to apply.
We were told we need to apply, that's
Right.
correct. So this is the application.
Right.
So it's whether the RM wants to or not.
Is there a fee to apply?
I'm not sure of that. Sample form is there. I'd have to look into that. I don't think so.
Hurt to
but-
apply.
I don't
is it?
think so, it wouldn't hurt to
No.
apply.
So
on
it
this
doesn't
one.
hurt to reduce it by.
We promised we'd try.
The brakes, I find a hard time believing that the government will implement that on a PTH.
No, had to be ours.
And even if we request it, for them to actually do it, like I'm just not sure that that's something they would start. You
Well, I
always-
think a lot of the things is, most of these trucks, they come from a factory with a muffler on.
Yes,
And then the young boys get them and rip the mufflers off and make it real noisy. So why, who's supposed to enforce that? DOT?
DOT, and they stop them at different times, checking weights and that. I don't know how thorough they are with their checks. Yeah, like,
As long as you can't do a proper Jake test unless you're loaded going down a hill and you clip them off.
But you should be able to tell whether there's a muffler on there or not.
Something is right now, like for my example, that for the Freightliner, it doesn't have a muffler, it has the regen can. So you can actually, there's ways to cut the can open and you wouldn't see it unless you knew where to look and rip the insides out.
But isn't that what DOT's all about?
right. I would assume they would do when they do their big inspection where they have police there and all sorts of different people and they go through every truck. I would assume, but most times,
But they're not gonna do it going around here.
no, and they're looking for weights more than anything.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just DOT, it's also when the trucks get their yearly inspection.
Anyway, it wouldn't hurt.
That's where it should be caught.
Send the application in or the form in. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah, for the speed limit.
Yeah.
I think it'd be good PR with the town too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I
Go ahead.
Town of Carberry, request for implementation.
So I'm gonna shut my 3/4 ton off.
That's the engine retarder brakes.
Pardon me?
That's the engine retarder brakes, that's the letter I have up there.
MIT, emergency response plans.
Just that they're due the end of the year, as usual.
Chamber of Commerce, trade show, Carberry.
Carberry's having one in November, if you
Yep.
wanted to be a part of it.
We got anything to put into something?
We have a banner.
A banner?
I mean, really, I don't know.
Not
Does
really,
council
no.
want?
We don't do anything up the north then.
Did we not get a banner
Yeah.
thing?
We
Like,
do
no
have
reason
one.
you couldn't put that in there,
Yes,
at
we
least
do
put
have
that.
one.
Is this the, like, has a booth there or something?
Yeah, it's promoting your area with a booth and. I don't know if Carberry's putting that on this year.
I'd say if anything, you can get the rec director if she wants to put something out there to advertise what we have to offer, like, so anything, but
Is it not the same person as theirs?
they probably just have, they've got Kira as
They have
their-
Kara, she
as
is
their-
their
Okay.
EDO.
Manitoba EM quarterly newsletter,
That's emergency
Hudson Bay Route 100th anniversary meeting. Letter from resident for Highway 5. I'm assuming that was forwarded to the Department of Highways, to
Yeah.
their
Is this
MIT,
about
I
the
hope.
intersection or?
No, it's
No, that's.
Alan Barron about the
Yeah.
retard brakes and speeding and
Oh, for around here.
That's what he sent in,
Yeah.
province.
Oh, good, no,
So what's that, he's supporting the restriction?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Pretty much.
And asking for the speed reduction.
well, wasn't there something about approach removal too, or something in there?
Yes,
Yeah.
When they redo the highway through town.
Yeah,
Or through here.
well, they're looking at a service road.
Yeah,
And he's complaining, he's concerned about that.
Yeah.
well, he's doing the right thing by running.
Yeah, well, absolutely, yeah.
Good for him, yep.
Yep.
Portage MLA MRI town meeting. Date was that, the 23rd
22nd. but
or
sure.
22nd, yeah.
Anyone wants to go to Portage?
Newport Chamber of Commerce, Santa Parade of Lights.
What day is it?
Might as well put our one
November.
float in.
Is it 26th?
22nd.
November 23rd.
Yeah, sorry.
That's what I thought.
So we'll put a grader in again.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to put a float in like we normally put in. If we can
On
get
something.
everybody to participate. Yep. When is Carberry's?
Friday, December 13th.
That one is.
We've moved to the nighttime officially.
Good idea.
Okay. So we have 2 parade of lights now.
Yeah.
Exciting stuff.
Asking that if you could use the one trailer set up for the second. For that wall. We're gonna take it off wall.
Rose and I are working on some
Scheming.
details.
Love it. Excellent.
MIT drilling notice.
That's for the intersection, right?
Yes.
Yep.
That is
Fence
for
poles?
ROHL Global Sewer and Water Line locates.
Did anyone happen to look at that? Any concerns?
Just we went through them. I didn't notice a lot with any of
Didn't
them.
make sense to me. What would we do?
They just wanted locates, they're putting a new line in for Bell MTS.
Oh, okay.
So they'll need locates from our water line.
Yeah, they're just asking if there's anything in there that would affect it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I didn't see this one. Where's this at?
I actually don't think we have water lines there.
No, I don't think so.
There's the land southwest 16,914,
Oh, no.
southeast 17,914.
No, we don't get anything there. Scott Phillips campaign, running for vice president of AMM.
He's awesome.
Yes.
What happened to Mr. Blake?
He's officially out from farming and everything health-wise,
Okay.
big time, so.
So this guy's running for president of AMN?
No, Scott's running for vice president.
Vice president.
Right now,
Oh.
Kathy Valentino, is it?
Yep, from Thompson.
Thompson has taken over the presidentship, or whatever you want
Where's
to
this
call
guy
it.
from?
Oakley.
Scott's from Oak Lake.
Oh, yeah.
He's our district rep. He's a pretty good guy, or
Yeah.
seems to be anyway. Westman ATV, thank you. They dropped some donuts off. They dropped a dozen off for the two girls, so they were well fed for a week there. That's when you were away to Winnipeg,
They
was
dropped
it?
2 dozen off, so
Two
I had
dozen?
them send a dozen over to the Carberry shop as well.
Did we hear how many people they had out for it, or?
Yeah.
The highway was crazy. There
160.
was units going by like mad.
160?
Said 160 quad.
160 machines, and they raised just over $4,000, which will go right back into the trail system.
Good.
Good for them. Well, at least he's keeping in communication with everybody. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I was really impressed
Yeah,
with that
they
last
seem
chat.
to be on the ball, those guys.
Evolve temporary use, road use notification.
This is pretty normal, that whenever they need to use our roads, they just send in notice.
And this Bull Russ was some point was what we were talking about, I'm
Yes.
assuming.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where it was. Yes.
Okay, round the table. Harold,
I'm good.
you good? Jaren,
No, I don't have anything right now.
Alice,
I had one request from a ratepayer in Wellwood, if we would entertain the fact of putting a speed of 30 for the bus area, the bus pickup area. I didn't know if it, I know it kind of came up, I didn't, no promises made for sure, but was it Ingelo? What did we put that down to last year? Was it just down to
50.
Just down to 50,
Yeah.
right? So I said it likely wouldn't go anywhere, but we'll bring that forward.
you can put signs all you want,
I know, that's what
but it's,
yeah.
there's no enforcement. That's the worst part about all of it. What else could you put up there? Some sort of sign that would catch people's eye to get them to slow down instead of,
That's just Railway Ave you're talking about?
I've often wondered about a moving sign, kind of like what they have, but like now on wheels, that flashes your speed.
when they get stolen.
Well, it's maintenance, right? As well. Something we could take from rural residential to rural residential and the rural.
But you're thinking right in Wellwood? Yeah.
Is this a central spot where all the kids get picked up on the bus or something, or?
No.
Not really, but
They stop in several
the
spots
stall
there.
is right on
Yeah.
Main Dragon. I was quite concerned that the speed gets zipper by sometimes trying to pick up the
So just a question, like in Wellwood, and the bus stops for 30 seconds, how many vehicles can go by? Like me, there could be obviously opportunities for that to happen, but
Yeah.
Or they more worried about their kids standing up there for 5 minutes waiting for the bus and vehicles going by.
maybe,
I don't know.
yeah. But I mean, like,
Are you better off at the south end of Wellwood and the north and the northwest corner and put children playing signs or something up, or what do you put up? I don't know. What's at Brookdale on their school blue? There's nothing.
They
there.
have school zone around the school there.
Just a sign, yeah.
Sign saying school zone.
Yeah. and reduce speed.
Did we put that up or the school division put that
I
up?
think we put them on.
That's been-
At their request, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that, it's not a school.
It's
It's
No,
not an
the
actual
school's own,
school,
no.
it's just a bus pickup.
Well, we could look into getting those bus signs,
Yeah.
children crossing, whatever.
Yeah.
At least then there's some kind of a warning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe people aren't aware. Start with that, maybe, look into it.
Maybe,
I think it'd be appreciated.
what if you got more information on what are their concerns? Like, okay, you want a speed reduced sign, why? And then maybe we need to sign that appropriately, right? Like,
Yeah, like what would you like on the sign?
yeah,
Well,
Like
not just
thir-
that, we could maybe request, like, this is just thinking outside the box, maybe request the residents, we have a couple pickup spots for
Yeah,
kids
a
in
couple
Wellwood, and then you could actually
designated
sign
pickup
those spots and make it more of a designated area, north and south, or east and west, or something.
Well,
more-
they'd have to talk with the school division on
Yeah.
Right.
designating them
Right, you'd
spots,
have
but
to.
work with the school division
But
and
then
see
we,
where.
then we could set something up to police if we had to.
Years ago, they did do one spot in Wellwood.
Right.
They did it at the store years ago, right? But now, I mean, right across the road, there is that, the Canada Post, like the hall, where
Yeah.
kids could meet, you know, if you wanted to make a general area.
Or if you
But
did the
that's school
hall,
board too.
then if you did the hall and you signed it right, it could be basically if anyone's using the hall, it's slowing traffic through the front and past the hall where the most traffic kids could be.
But I know that won't address the road that they're concerned about. They're concerned about railway because people rip in there all the time and
Okay.
Could you find more out, Dallas,
I will
and see
find
what
more
might
out.
be a fitting sign to put in there? And bring it to next meeting or
Yep.
whatever if you can?
Yep.
That okay with everybody?
mhm.
Something like that? Okay. Anything else, Dallas?
Staff party is Friday, November 29th. Same caterers last year. Teresa has offered to have people reply to the office whether or not we can come or not. Numbers would be great. Any suggestions or switch ups are welcome, but other than that, I think I'm good.
Robbie?
Sunday we had a little gathering at the cemetery for the windmill.
Oh.
It's done. It's not up yet, but it's all, I've got pictures if you wanna see them. So Mr. Harburn and his wife were on their way to Phoenix for the winter. So it was all pretty quick what we had to do. So Callie sent to some of the dignitaries and to the cemetery board, and I think we ended up with 6 or 8 people that
Yeah,
day.
there was 6 or 8 people.
Yeah,
8 people.
and they were there and they were thrilled. Their family, Kelly just has to figure out where the bill is and break it down with what he wants to, how the family wants to pay for it. Gaber's donated a lot to it through labor and that, and they don't want anything, maybe their name on the plaque or whatever, but for now we just got it's sitting on a flatbed. Dale needs a perfect day to put it up, and it's hard to say when that's gonna be. And once it's up, we'll get some more pictures and then we'll do some kind of a dedication from everybody. And it is one big windmill. Like, folded up, it's probably what, 12 feet?
Well, it'd be
10?
10 feet,
10?
10 feet in diameter at least.
And then it goes flat, goes up to like 16 or so. It's crazy, and the technology in that thing from being 100 and
20
whatever,
years old.
20 or 30 years old, like they can't believe it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
Nice news.
So the mayor was there and Kelly was
That was a
there.
good deal.
Kenny, the Reeve came, which was awesome. So anyway, that's I just got a few other things after and
Okay.
we're good.
Welcome.
Not too much. Thank you to the guys and whoever was involved for fixing up that bridge and that road. Turned out good down there for those residents. Other than that, what?
Yeah, but anything really, other than the guys are still plugging away on the roads and mowing and doing a decent job for what they got to work with. Pretty dry out there right now, but Matt's on holidays for a week. Other than that, Teresa,
Maybe I should ask, what I need is a bit of guidance. I had a resident phoned me up and notified me that there was a septic truck dumping in a ditch, municipal ditch. Well, I got out there, it turned out it was, somebody had cleaned out a sump at a potato storage and had dumped all the mud into one of our ditches. But problem is, he didn't catch the name on the truck, he didn't know where it came from, and all I could do was stand there and basically sympathize. There wasn't anything I could really do, but if we do catch somebody septic truck dumping in a ditch, who are you supposed to phone?
That be environment, province?
Yeah,
But would you get the information and then,
yeah. Problem is, he didn't catch the name
Yeah.
of the truck or anything, and it was, well, I got there, it wasn't sewage, it was just mud.
But still,
Yeah, but it shouldn't have been dumped in our ditch.
No, still not on their
There
own.
is a new business in town. I wonder if we should just be sending a letter just saying, this FYI, you know, it's not allowed to dump in ditches, or, you know, any questions, please don't hesitate. Just kind of a proactive letter. Because it
Do
could
you
just-
recommend there are dumping sites?
Well, yeah, exactly. Say like, you know, the previous company in the area has kind of had the following practices.
we should know that anyway. But
Yeah, like, technically, they have to pull it to Brandon. If they take anything out of a septic tank, it has to be taken to Brandon. It's not, they can't just go out in the field anymore.
Well, don't we allow?
But in the municipality, we're not allowing,
Or the,
Brookdale?
isn't there like a fee per?
it's a fee
Yes.
for dumping, and
Yeah.
they don't get their own key or anything.
That has not been done. The fee for dumping has not been done.
Oh.
And I know the last discussion around this table was that that system is paid for by Brookdale residents and we shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
don't know.
We should be promoting it then.
Well, then maybe we just leave it like that then.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
You have to haul to a designated facility that accepts that, and associated fees would be
Yep.
the person who hired them, or theirs, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Up
I
to
was
them.
talking to, like, I just had my septic tank cleaned out, and I was talking to him, and yeah, he says they're very strict. They have to haul it straight to Brandon, they can't.
Then you pay them for whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, anybody else? Teresa, what have you got here? Or where do we start?
What do we want to talk? So town is selling the sandbox, so I talked to Ray about it, and Matt and I did some discussions. We offered them $1,200 for it. We'll see what they come back with. See what they think the worth is. They just said give an offer, so that's what the guys figured it would be worth, and we're hoping to get it. I mean, be very good for us to have. Transfer station building, it could be brought to Fairview, the old one, for the cost of moving it. Do we want it is the question, and then Matt suggested maybe it be brought to Neepawa. Then you'd have access to electricity there and less money that you have to pay for gas.
Both options make sense. right?
Yeah, Wellwood Fairview is open 1 day a week, whereas the other is 3.
Yeah.
So,
This is for the attendant?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we have that building,
Yeah.
it's free for the moving costs. Do we want it? That's my number one question.
Is it on skids, like how?
I have no idea. I would assume so, because it doesn't, just thinking,
I don't know what it's even sitting on, whether it's just sitting on a cement pad. I've never really got out and looked
I
at
know
it.
it's a wood,
I don't think
It's got a wood floor in it.
Yeah.
so I'm feeling like it's sitting on something to keep it elevated off the ground, but
so, just, I'm sorry, why does Matt want it? Like in Equal, what's at the dump?
yes,
It's just
so
open
he
more
has,
than
transfer
the
station.
Fairview is.
What do they use now up there?
Truck.
his truck,
He just hits his
They
truck.
just sit in their truck?
he sits in his own truck, yeah.
It's quite a bit cheaper.
You know,
Can we redneck move it, like how big is it?
It's not that big, it's
Oh,
the
yeah.
scale house
It's-
one.
It's not very
It
big.
would go in the trailer, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I would think it would go on a trailer.
So gang, I got a couple loaders, lift the thing out, just sit on a
Yeah.
trailer and haul it, and redneck move it, and, not, sorry, we're on camera, but.
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
Trouble is, there's
big-
only one guy got licensed to drive that truck. Are you taking which truck and trailer you taking?
You could use a small one, you wouldn't need a semi.
No,
Like,
you
it's not that
wouldn't need
big,
to say, it's not that heavy, no.
probably 16-foot trailers.
Like I moved a 14 by 20 foot garage with my little car hauler.
Well, this one wouldn't be any bigger than that, like, it's not 14 feet.
No.
wide, is it?
No,
No.
wouldn't fit a car in it.
You get 2 people standing there at the window, it looks pretty tiny.
Yeah.
Get Matt to look into it more, but
Well, that's
if we
what
can
he,
have it for the price of moving it.
He's-
that's
Suggesting
that's
before.
his suggestion. His suggestion is an equal.
Is there hydro at Fairview?
No,
And it's hooked up for hydro, right?
Yeah.
So might as well go somewhere where you can get hydro, if they need it.
Yeah, I think it was valid,
Yeah, down the road,
absolutely.
okay.
I think.
I would say so, but that's,
Get the best use you can out of it.
How big is this building?
It's the old scale house at the
at the
at the
garbage
transfer
dump.
station in town here.
You know, what is it, about 10 by 12 or something?
Maybe.
Not very big, is it?
I'd say
Harold?
max, right?
Yeah,
10 by
biggest.
14.
Probably 8 by 14, 8 by 12.
I'll let Matt do the looking
Yeah.
into it, and let him go for it.
Makes sense.
What else you got there?
Getting ready for the district meeting. They had 117 people, so we're gonna have to start thinking what we wanna provide for that. Town is inquiring whether the RM is interested in purchasing half of the lot adjoining to the fire hall. They're getting quotes from local realtors on that property. So that's where the water is underground, it's gotta be covered. I think for now, they've put a structure over it.
Yep.
But it's going to be up to RM council to see if they want, or if they wanna go half on that lot.
Well, it's
Or
all
not.
for the fire department, right?
It is all for the fire department. Their plan would be to put a fence around it and have training in there and then keep their cars,
Use,
vehicles that they.
use the
dismantle.
concrete for busting up the cars, and it's easier for them to clean instead of the gravel on the concrete. There's not much talk of a building there yet, is there?
There was kind of some.
Well,
there
they
was a
was,
bit.
but they're not sure what
I
they
know.
wanna do.
I know.
Yeah.
Like I know at the meeting I said like I'm all well in helping out, but I myself wouldn't be interested in paying a whole lot of money for half the land when we're basically just agreeing to be partners on the debt, right? So I think if they wanted to give us the property for $1, I would be happy helping them with half a fence and half upgrade them. But it's
How much more do we want to own in Carver?
As long as we're not gonna charge half the taxes every year.
well, there shouldn't be taxes if the town is on the building, like on the
Yeah.
title, then there should be taxes.
Does the town own it now?
The town owns it
Yes.
now. Yeah.
No, we don't really have-
So I wanna make sure like the infrastructure, water is safe and so yeah, I don't know what kind of number they plan on expecting for the land. Like, I wanna be a good neighbor and support the fire call.
Well, it's,
I just don't know what kind of number they're gonna try
it's
and
gonna be
expect of
something
the
like if
land.
the lot's worth 100,000,
They're gonna expect
there-
that.
so just number, I don't know, but, so there's 50, and then it's gonna go, because they're gonna want a building on it soon. So, so it's gonna be 200,000 on a $500,000 building, or, like, where does it stop? And it's all good training, like, Grady said that if they get the right facility, they wanna be a trainer to other departments, that they actually come to Carberry
Yeah.
to train these other volunteer firefighters, because they have people working.
He did it right, say though, like, don't be expecting it, it's not gonna be a money-making thing.
Yeah.
It's just the yay of giving back and being
Yeah.
in that crew, but it's not gonna be like a make money on any, it's not that it's about that, but we don't have any false pretenses that we'll make any money back from that, right?
Yeah, you have to be fair to what you spend.
Right, so it's kind of like a need versus a want, because they do have a pretty good classroom in the hall now for the actual, so, like,
We'll see where it progresses, because we can
Yeah.
always do, instead of buying the land, give them a grant. And grant them some money, a one-time thing, that way we're not tied into the debt or paying taxes on the land forever. And just let the town own it, here's a grant to help pay for it and call it a day.
because they will need something over that water source.
Yeah,
Either
exactly.
way.
But we're done, just use the
Yeah,
grant,
yeah.
done.
But they're gonna be, if it's for the fire department, they're gonna expect us to be paying half of whatever they do there for the fire department.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So like right now, they figure the one half, if I, correct me if I'm wrong, but the one half is, could be a building structure over the water, and then the other half is where they would do their training. So and it's all for the fire department, and it's,
I know.
A lot of discussion on that, yeah.
yeah.
It would be nice to have kind of a feel of the room because it will be, like, it's a timely thing they want to get at, I think, so there will be, they'll want to know something this joint.
We discuss this in camera a little more.
Sure.
What else you got there, Teresa?
I think the next thing we can discuss in camera as well.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay, thank you everyone. In camera, resolution 286, 2024. It resolved that council as a committee of the whole move into in camera to discuss personnel matters. Can I have a mover, please? Malcolm, seconder Dallas. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you.